is a Saturday, but I wanted to do a meal prep where I just spend a few hours meal prepping and we have meals to eat for the rest of the week, or at least for the next 3 or 4 days, and with minimal cooking needed. So I got up early because I also have a couple meetings today, so I'm gonna try to work in the meetings and the meal prepping and homemaking all together and make sure that things function smoothly. But I was up around 6:30 doing business things, just kind of laying in bed working from my phone, and then 7:30 I got up and made breakfast for the boys so that they could have breakfast to eat as soon as they got up. It is 8:20 now. Also ordered groceries last night for this meal prepping plan, for this meal prepping occasion. So those all came into the door this morning. My meeting is at 9, so I hope that the boys sleep in this morning is my plan, is what I'm hoping for. If they don't, I'll just sit on my meeting while they eat breakfast and kind of multitask. But my meeting is an hour and it's a group coaching call where we meet bi-weekly every Saturday and we go over topics on how to grow our business and the latest health and nutrition trends and stuff. So that is from 9 to 10, which is about 30 minutes from now. But yeah, so that's the plan for the day. So we'll have a little bit of work, we'll have our meeting, we'll have breakfast, spend the day with the kiddos, and then when I foresee a time, then we'll start meal prepping. This meeting is being recorded. Alright, meeting is over, kids just woke up, we got them situated and eating breakfast. So here's all my Costco groceries for the meal prepping this week. It was total of everything, I want to say around $60. But we got some spices, stuff that I don't actually have but do need for some recipes and general cooking. So we got like chili powder, paprika. Did you guys know paprika is actually just peppers, dried peppers? And there's not like a paprika bush out there, it's actually just a bell pepper, but dried. It says paprika. Curry powder, got some chia seeds, some raisins, some chili seasoning, almond flour, some shredded carrots, celery stalks, sweet potatoes, a lime, minced ginger, tomatoes, more PB, some crushed tomatoes with basil, tomato paste, spinach, a salad kit bag, some blueberries. So these are all the ingredients that we'll need for today's meal prep. I also have thought out thank you, KK. I thought out last night a pack of stew meat for the chili and 2 packs of tenderloins. These are those Costco tenderloins. So these are thawed out, they've been going out overnight. So those are our proteins there. We have some other things in the cupboards that we'll use as well. Here is our meal prep for this week. So this should all take at least an hour or 2 hours, maybe 3. And I should have good meals to go for the rest of the week. So I'm gonna finish up breakfast with the kids. In between breakfast time, and while the kids are playing, I'm gonna eat, and I'm also gonna like set aside and prep ingredients so that when it is time to meal prep, I just grab a bowl and dump like those professional chefs on TV. So, all right. So it is almost 2. We spent all morning playing, reading books together. In between book and reading time, I prepped some ingredients for one of the first meals I'll make, which is I'm gonna do like a stew meat chili. I think you can make chili with stew meat, or we're gonna try it though. So I have here some onions, peppers, celery, carrots. Boys are working on taking their nap. They are in there kind of trying to fall asleep, kind of playing with each other, so this will be kind of intermittent. I have about an hour now until 3, which is my next client call, to like get things prepped, jump on my client call, and hopefully the boys will be napping by then. And then during the client call, anything else that needs cooking, we'll be cooking. First thing on our agenda is stew meat chili. So in this Instant Pot, I'm going to add my crushed tomatoes, veggies, yes, chili seasoning, and stir that all together. All right, and then we're going to add our stew meat that's been thawed out. If you don't eat meat, you can do a vegan version of this by doing 2 to 3 different kinds of beans. Benefit of that is you get lots of fiber. I'm gonna add the beans as well. Probably rinse them and then add them in. And then we are going to cook it low for 7 hours, but because it's 2, it would be done at 9. And I want to go to bed at 9. So we're gonna do on high in the slow cooker for 4 hours, and that would be what, done at 6, which is more reasonable. All right, everything is mixed. Start. Now that that is set, the next thing we are going to prep is our overnight oats, which that'll be super easy. So in here, we're gonna do 1.5 cups oats, 1.5 cup milk, chia seeds, maple syrup, cinnamon water, and some blueberries. And then it's just gonna soak overnight. And the overnight soaking of the milk or whatever liquid you choose, whether it's dairy milk, almond milk, will soak into the oats and make it fine to digest. These are those sprouted oats, but if you have rolled oats or steel cut oats, it'll work just fine. Chia seeds also have this gelatinous effect when it's soaking in liquid, so that will also help thicken the oats as well. Also, it's another good source of omegas and fats and fiber. Stir everything really well. Almond. Oh. So if this is just one person, this would last 4 days because there's 4 servings in here. If you have a big family, I would probably double or triple this recipe. And I grabbed the wrong lid. All right, here's the container. This goes in the fridge overnight. Next up, we're going to do a big sheet pan of chicken and veggies. So I just preheated the oven, clean up my area a little bit, and get those prepped. For our baked plate, I didn't record any of it, but it's pretty simple. I just had some chicken tenderloin that I coated in oil, rubbed my rotisserie chicken seasoning on them. I'm just gonna sprinkle a bit more on there. I also cut up some sweet potatoes in half lengthwise, coated them with olive oil, and sprinkled salt and pepper. So these are gonna go into the oven. It is at 375 for about 20-25 minutes. Okay, I think I said 375, right? We're gonna do 20 minutes because in 20 minutes it'll be, well, 25 minutes it'll be 3, which is that's the time the main meeting is. So we're gonna try to get through the rest of it. So the next 2 items I have to make are some morning glory muffins, or just like almond flour muffins, and also a butter chicken dish that I'll put together and we can serve it over rice. Because I only have like 20 minutes left and then I'm gonna go sit down and get ready for my meeting, I'm actually just gonna prep the ingredients needed for these next 2 dishes, so after my meeting all I have to do is mix them together and then put them in the oven. So I had my client meeting. It was an hour. We're just gonna quickly get through the rest of the prepping and then cook dinner as well, and then that'll be the end of the vlog. But first of all, let me show you the chicken. There's about an hour and a half left on the chili. Here is the chicken tenderloins that were roasted and sweet potatoes that was roasted. They've cooled down while I was in the meeting. I put them in for another extra 5 more minutes after, I think I set the timer for 20 minutes. I put them in for 5 more minutes, or 10 more minutes, but I probably could have just done 5 and 5, but they're totally fine. They're done and cooled. They'll be transferred to a container. So now we're going to do the muffins. So for the dry ingredients, you can't really see it because it's all mixed up, but there is almond flour, oats, cinnamon, salt, and raisins in here. And then for the wet ingredients, there is maple syrup, olive oil, and then I'm going to add to it some milk, 2 eggs, I'm going to mix this up, and then I'm going to mash up a banana. It's not as brown as I like, but it'll work. And then we're also going to add more shredded carrots. I didn't really measure the carrots because of I think we're supposed to like shred 2 carrots. I just eyeball. So we're gonna add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Alright, so I have a pan preheating on the stove to make my butter chicken. So we have that. Chickens, I'm gonna put these in a Ziploc bag because some of the chicken will be used for my salad and some of the chicken will be used with the sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts. Another thing I could have done, these were like chicken breasts. I would put them in my KitchenAid there and shred them shortly after they came out of the oven so that these would be like shredded chicken that I could just like tongs and like tong them out onto my meals. All right, here's our meal prepped chicken for meals. Obviously, if there are other sources of protein you like, you could prep those as well. If you prefer ground beef, if you like salmon fillets, those are other proteins you could prep as well. Just for the sake of this meal prepping session, we're doing chicken. Here's what we have so far. Our chili has about an hour left. We got the muffins in the oven. Pan is preheating. For this butter chicken, we have here some ingredients that I prepped before that I had my call. So we have some onions, garlic, and the minced ginger. We're also going to use some tomato paste, curry powder, paprika, chili powder. There's another seasoning called garam masala or something, but I don't have that. So I have here a couple tablespoons of butter. So now we're gonna add the onions, garlic, and tomato. Once this is fully mixed up and incorporated, then it will just simmer for 5 minutes, and then we can portion them out into our containers. It is 5:30. There are 45 minutes left on the chili. So we started meal prepping at around 2 actually. So from 2 to 3, and then from 1 hour, and then 3 to 4 I had my call, and then around 4:30, 5:30 now, we did the last half of our meal prep. So that was just 2 hours. 2 hours of meal prepping total, plus the, maybe we'll just say 2.5. Less than 3 hours of meal prepping everything. If you like double, triple the recipes, you have enough meals to feed your whole family for at least a week, at least for the whole week, with minimal trying to figure out what's for dinner, you know. You guys don't have to order takeout because you already have something in the fridge that's planned out so to eat, so you save money there. So all in all, that's a pretty good system. All it takes is a plan. I did a lot of planning the night before by making my grocery list, by checking what's in my pantry and my cupboards, by picking and selecting recipes that I thought I would like and that I thought the family would like. And then throughout the whole morning while I was playing with the kids and homemaking and doing regular home things, I was taking a few minutes, 5 minutes whenever I had it, to chop up vegetables for the recipe that was needed. All right, so our butter chicken is done. It looks and smells good. What this lime was for squeezing over your rice or chicken whenever you plate your meals. So I'll keep this lime on the counter for now. Did I say lemon? I meant lime. And our muffins are done. They look pretty good. Excited to try those too. So now for prepping, or for plating. Because I have chicken salads prepped and the chicken and sweet potato meals, I'm not gonna be putting them into meal prep containers. Otherwise, that's probably what I would be doing, is putting the rice here and then my chicken in here. That's not what we're doing today. We're gonna wait for it to cool down, and then we're gonna put it in a Ziploc bag and stick it in the freezer. Okay, this just beefed, so that is done. All right, I'm just gonna give that a stir, and then I will unplug it, let it cool down a little bit, and transfer it to a baggie later, because that won't be till the last half of the week. But if I were going to eat this thing earlier in the week, I would be putting it in these half-gallon jars in the fridge. So dinner tonight is just gonna be waffles. And then later this week we'll get to the meals. Here are our meals. We have our chicken plus sweet potato plus broccoli bacon veggie mix. That's meal 1. We have chicken plus salad. That's meal 2. We have butter chicken curry over rice. That's meal number 3. And our beef chili, meal number 4, over cornbread. I'll probably make cornbread later this week. Breakfast, aside from sausage and eggs, we have our overnight oats, and we have our gluten-free morning glory muffins. So these are all going back into the fridge, and these are going into the freezer, where I will thaw them out and heat them up later this week. So the overnight oats was actually really delicious, and it was such a really nice quick breakfast to have in the mornings, like when I got up early and I didn't go to the gym and I just needed something in my stomach while I was doing work. Highly recommend. The gluten-free muffins were super handy, especially in the mornings when we had to get ready to go to church and we were in a rush and I didn't have time to make like pancakes or anything, so I just packed them into the kids' lunchbox for our breakfast at Sunday school. The butter chicken, I simply thawed it out and heated it up later in the week in a pan. I combined it with a carb of choice, whether it was like pasta or some naan bread or rice, and then also topped it with mozzarella cheese. That recipe was also super delicious. If you guys like curry, definitely try that out. The kids weren't a fan of like the bitterness of it, I think, or the sourness that came with the Greek yogurt and maybe the lime that was in it, but the adults in the family loved it. The chili, I also thawed it out at the end of the week, heated it up in a pot, tasted just as good as it did when it came out of the Instant Pot, and the stew meat actually worked really well instead of ground beef, but if you have ground beef, you can use that too. But I also made cornbread that night, and those two things combined worked out really well. That's pretty much my meal prep mania for 1 week for a family of 4. Fortunately, you guys can also have access to the recipes that I used in the system that I have in place. Part of my coaching business, I also have a wellness club membership, and here's a little bit about what it looks like. This is my app here, so when you scroll over to, if you go over to resources, I have a ton of libraries, several different recipe options. A few examples of what we have on here. We have Mediterranean diet, sugar-free. We also have low fiber, high protein diets. I also have a lot of women-specific plans as well. So prenatal, postnatal, hormone balancing, luteal phase, follicular phase, stuff like that, catered to women's health, gut health, liver support, brain health. There's so many options on here. There's at least 60 different recipe books, and each recipe book comes with an accompanying guide. Step by step, how to do things, how to prep things up just like I was tonight, and take the guesswork out of everything, and it makes things so much easier on you. All my clients love the recipes. They go nuts over the recipes in the recipe books, so highly recommend checking that out. It's only $24.99 a month. You get access to their meal plans, the guides, a growing on-demand library for home workouts and gym workouts, and there's exclusive access to the Wellness Club forum, where we hold monthly challenges every month and you get rewards for winning. So if that's something you want to participate in or add to your tool belt for your wellness journey, definitely check it out.